going up the mountain. His engine is roaring. Then there's a big chase, and all of these things are happening. They go up the hill. All of this. The police officer said it was none of that.
So
He
okay,
didn't. He didn't see the Porsche. He didn't see any chase. None of that.
so that's important because Cuddy, I remember Cuddy. He
Right.
said he shows up, cameras are pointed down, nobody's at the house. Uh, presents unwrapped. He never saw Diddy, and he called him like, "Where'd you, what the fuck's going on here, whatever." And Diddy was not at the premise. But Capricorn is saying they heard Cuddy coming because he was driving his Porsche, a very loud Porsche, and they chased him through the hills.
Right.
Is what
And there was no
Capricorn.
outlet. No outlet. So they had to come back down by the house.
Okay, so Capricorn says they chased him. Cuddy says he showed up and they weren't there, which I think that's a very important discrepancy there. And then the police officer. Are we done with Capricorn, or do you want to move on to the PD now?
Well, it's a kind of a mixture, but I'm ready to rock with it. So let me just lay this out for you.
Go ahead.
This will be a good point. So the police officer said he pulls up. First, the prosecutor laid a foundation that how dispatch is determined by kidnapping, guns, whatever it is. They tell the police officer on the way. You want to expound on that real quick?
Yeah,
Is
sure.
that how it works?
So, and Cuddy said this during his testimony. He said he got there and he saw his house was going on, and he called Diddy and he said, "Hey, what the fuck's going on here?" And they were supposed to meet up, but then he kind of realized that he doesn't know what Diddy has and it could be dangerous, so he called the police. Now, when the police get the call from 911, the dispatch is typically going to tell them, "Hey, look, home invasion or robbery suspect, etc." And the cop kind of knows before he gets to the scene that he's going to be dealing with a victim of a house invasion. And I think this is the officer that responded that we're gonna talk about now, right?
Yeah, so the police officers, they get that call, they show up to the house. The black Escalade is pulling off from the front door. That gate, remember the gate they showed during
Yes.
Cuddy's? Yep, so the black Escalade is going up the hill, but he says that they do not try to make
What's
an
Cuddy's
attempt to
address one more
stop the
time?
vehicle.
What's Cuddy's
that?
address? Do you remember Cuddy's address? If you have it
Let's
written down
see.
somewhere,
Let's see.
I want to show the audience here because it came out.
I'll while you're talking, let me look. I have the transcripts here. I'll get it for you.
Yeah, it's because I want to show these guys what the house kind of looked like. Let's see.
All right, here we go.
I know it's somewhere here. I know I wrote it in my notes too, and I like pulled it up before. It's fine. I'll look for it on the side while you
Okay.
keep talking. So, the cop shows up to the house.
So basically, they go into the property. Two detectives show up as well. I was trying to find that address.
So the patrolman and two detectives.
Yeah,
Okay.
two detectives show up. They go through the house. They find that there's luxury bags and jewelry on the table. Remember the gifts that Kid Cudi said he had that Diddy opened up?
Yep.
So really, nothing was taken. There's really no crime. They said they go back outside, and then they see the black Escalade coming back down the hill. And the prosecutor says, "Well, did you try to stop them coming back down the hill?" He says, "No, because we still didn't see any type of crime." So this is painted as a burglary, but according to the police report, this was just a trespass. So it was not a burglary, it was a trespass. And so what he did was he took the license plate number, which they read out in court, and he put it into the system, and it came back as Bad Boy Music Entity. So that's how they kind of they knew it was Diddy.
Okay, so that's super important because obviously, and this is where witness testimony gets spotty and can be bad. So, Cudi says, "I get there, no one's there. I call the cops." Right? Capricorn says, "I get there, I'm waiting in the car. Diddy and his security guard go in, and they come back out, and then we chase Cudi when he shows up." The police say, "We get there." Was Cudi at the premises when they got there, or no? He was, right?
No, he wasn't.
Oh shit. Okay.
And in fact, it came out in court that they asked standing still, he asked, he says, was the homeowner there? And the address is 8925 Hollywood Cannon. That's the address.
Hold on, let me write that down. It's 89 what?
8925 Hollywood Cannon. That's Kid Cudi's address.
Okay.
Next week I'll have all the photos and everything for you. So they had asked, you know,
I'm showing it on. I'm showing it on screen for them right now. This is the house right here. It's worth $2 million. Okay. I thought it'd be worth I thought it would be worth way more.
It's a rather small house.
Yeah.
Big.
It's a 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath house. So okay. So okay, my bad. So you were saying the cops showed up and
yeah, so the cop brought out, he made a good point. He said that this was a targeted attack because basically you had Cudi's really small house. The Porsche, the black Porsche, was right by the garage, and then there was 2 cars behind it. You couldn't see the Porsche from the road. So he said whoever went in to
We're good.
Then he also grabbed that he had another Porsche inside the garage that never was even mentioned in any of the reports. So that's some of the, you know, points that they were bringing out. And then we get into the whole arson part where someone...
So that's strange. So the cops say when they got there, there was no homeowner.
No.
But they did see a black Cadillac and had the plates and ran it, and it came back to Bad Boy Entertainment.
Correct.
Yeah, that's...
And they didn't do anything about it because there was no crime. His exact words, there's no crime that was being committed.
Okay, was it because and Cudi wasn't even there to tell them the story, I guess.
Right.
So
I mean, you know how they're telling. Remember, I think it's Capricorn that says that the gate was left open when Diddy went in.
Yes.
She could see into the house. They brought out in court that if she's sitting at that angle, she can't see into the house because there's, you know, obstructions of visions beyond that fence. And even when the police went there, his partner had to jump the fence in order to come around and open the door so he could get in. And they mentioned when they went to the door was unlocked. And then they, you know, they went inside the premises.
Okay, so that's super important. So they show up, they actually go into Cudi's house. Cudi's not even there. And they went through, they saw that it wasn't disturbed too much, I guess. And they looked at it like, hey, trespassing. And I guess Cudi wasn't there to tell them what was stolen, if anything. So they couldn't do anything.
Right. They brought out that previously someone had broken into Cudi's house. They made it seem like a female, and he had kept the fingerprint cards. So when the arson detective came on board, you seem like you want to say something.
How's everybody doing?
So Cudi had fingerprint cards of someone else that invaded his house?
Someone had invaded his house previously.
Oh.
So you know, it gets a little sketchy now because they're trying to paint the picture that maybe Cudi had other girls that was doing this to him. You know what I'm saying?
Oh shit!
Remember, Cudi testified. He said previous to this whole.
How's everybody doing?
Cudi had some issues. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, that people had been to that house before.
Someone broke in before, yeah.
Okay, wow. All right. So that might explain why they didn't take it so seriously. Because I was thinking in my head, why didn't they take this like more seriously? But okay, so they show up. Cudi's not there. They go do they sweep the house to make sure no one's there. No one's there. The only thing that they basically got when they showed up was a black Cadillac. Took the plate down, ran it, came back to Bad Boy Records. But I'm assuming back then at that time they didn't know that Diddy was linked to this and this was the problem. So they didn't follow up on it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Now, here's the interesting part, right? The police officer, when they had the arson event, and even for the house, they never bothered to go back and say, well, who broke into the house? Can we see the reports? So the attorney on cross-examination is like, so you guys don't even bother to go see the results of your orders? You know, your order and fingerprints and all this stuff. For the car, they fingerprinted the car. Whoever cut the hole open in the roof, they dropped the Molotov cocktail inside the roof.
Yeah.
So you had the bottle, a lighter, and you had a silky name brand of some sort handkerchief that they used inside the bottle.
Gotcha.
And so the person cut open the roof, and they dropped the Molotov cocktail in there, but the way it fell, the cloth came out too early.
They're talking about the P. Diddy
So
case.
minor burning to the car, but the officer testified that had it been successful, the house would have probably caught on fire, and also the 2 cars that were behind it.
The fuel tank.
Pick your hero.
I mean the fuel pump.
Or villain. I'm not
They're trying to
judging.
get more damage, but
We are cloak and
I
dagger.
guess the
We are
Molotov
hope
cocktail didn't
and
operate
fear.
properly, and it couldn't go to full, I guess, fruition with the flame.
Yes, and under cross-examination, Brian Steele really brought out how there was a glove. It almost reminded me of O.J. case. There was a glove in the back seat. The officer didn't even bother getting any fingerprints. He simply said, well, Cuddy said it was his, but we didn't bother looking into it. But in court, the defense used that as a strategy.
Gotcha. Okay, so that's interesting. So first his house invaded on or about, I remember, December 22nd, 2011.
Hi, and I create
Then
equilibrium.
he goes to Christmas
We
with
need 30
Cassie,
seconds before you
comes
attack.
back.
Get
the relationship
ready.
is pretty much done by this point in early January, and I know that this firebombing happened sometime in
How
January
nice
9th.
of you to join us, Ilyana.
In early
Done
January.
playing
So
demon?
the arson investigator,
2012.
I've been at
yeah.
war with
2012
gods,
exactly.
Emma.
So the
What
invasion,
have you
end of
been
2011,
Helping to run a
bomb
sovereign
for
mutant
January
nation.
of 2012.
Good.
The arson investigator
I don't like losers around me anyways.
examined the Molotov
Battle
cocktail. Was there
starts in
fingerprints
5,
pulled from
4,
the Molotov cocktail or
3,
anything or not?
2.
There were 2
One.
fingerprints pulled from the
All you
bottle.
need to do is capture the
And
mission
so
area.
this is
Got
where
it?
we get into the mistrial.
Actual
When
mileage,
they
but
questioned,
feels
the
like a long
defense
way from
questioned the officer, the arson detective,
Yeah.
it came out that those prints went missing. They disappeared, and they started to insinuate that they didn't.
Gotta shoot it.
Problem was, the
The
lawyer,
prosecutor insinuated that, right? Okay, on direct.
right.
Taste my pain. You dish it
Go,
up.
keep going, sorry.
I can take
So basically,
my step.
Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now.
Before 3
Capture the
questions
mission
were
area!
asked to insinuate that Diddy had paid someone off. So, under the objection, and when we came back from lunch and they did the whole attempt to get a mistrial, the judge says, wait, you just sat there. You should have called this objection much sooner. So, obviously, it went to the prosecutor's side.
Shit. So they weren't able to get that, like,
Palestine.
struck?
You got a shield, Tim.
Can someone exterminate these robotic pests?
Yeah, I would imagine they would object to the prosecution insinuating that.
Just embrace the light.
So what, I mean, what did an arson investigator say? That makes him look bad too. If, you know, for obviously using this evidence, I'm assuming he's just going to say, hey, it wasn't that much of a priority for us back then?
Feeling good.
Never, you know, when it came down to the
Just in time.
cross-examination,
Thanks.
Dude, how are we doing? Nothing.
really laid it out nicely. They were saying, listen, there's a reason I believe that
These teams have just been so trash, bro.
kidnapping,
Can't even get a fucking kill, man.
gun missing,
Tandy needs help.
no gun. So
Your team's past the halfway point.
dangerous! None of this being mentioned when the defense
Us against the world.
these items.
Okay, all right.
Still
So
here. Don't you put
now it
me
makes
out.
sense. So the Capricorn, the police officer, the arson investigator, basically they were all brought in to kind of put a bow on this arson. For the audience, that's guys. The reason why they're putting so much time into an arson case,
Unbelievable,
I'm
man.
sure a lot of you guys are saying, why the fuck does the defense
I'll
care
get you
about
next
arson?
time.
The reason why is because arson is a prerequisite crime for RICO. So what they're trying to insinuate is that he used arson as an intimidation tactic to further the criminal enterprise of, you know, Bad Boy Records or the Diddy Enterprise.
So bad, man.
And
Just in time.
and the reason why
Thanks.
they're trying to show that, look, this arson happened, these acts of violence happened, and we know that Diddy was there on that day at that time because we
You'll
got
have
the
to
vehicle
keep
registration,
fighting
which I
until we
think is
have a
the
winner.
most powerful piece of evidence. Because obviously Capricorn's story doesn't align 100% with Kid Cudi's story and Cassie's story. They all have little discrepancies here and there. But what we can take away from that's credible is the police did in fact get a license plate number on that night of the home invasion, and they ran it, and it came back to Bad Boy Records, which Diddy's a fucking retard for having
Hi,
a
and
car
I create
under his name
equilibrium.
going to do a home invasion.
When it gets disturbed.
Because there's no other, that's what I call like very solid physical evidence. So, okay, cool. So, I guess we covered kind of the arson investigator and the police officer. Is there anything else with the cops that we missed?
30 seconds
No,
before
not
you
with the
attack.
cops, but
Get ready.
now we're approaching 11 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
And they go back to the house, and Diddy jumps on Cassie and starts kicking her, not using any hands. He's kicking her in the stomach and her head. And
Shouldn't
she
that have
said
earned
that
us your
he
respect
basically kicked her
instead of
from
your
the kitchen all the way outside to the road, about 20 feet. He's just kicking her, and she's just taking that beating.
If I wanted
It's
to
just terrible.
This
The battle starts in
wait, Diddy
5,
starts beating Capricorn
4,
or Cassie?
3,
Cassie.
2,
And he told
1.
Capricorn you could get some.
All you
too
need
if
to do
don't,
is capture the
you know,
mission
get
area.
out of the way.
Got
This
it?
is the day of the home invasion?
shield,
Same day?
Yeah,
The harder
so
they
they, same
resist,
day.
the more
Okay,
this will
so
hurt.
Cuddy's at his house obviously now because of home invasion. Hours pass. Cassie leaves the Marquee Hotel to meet back.
Crazy,
with Diddy.
bro. Being such bad teams, man.
Hotel with Cuddy. Diddy is then he's at the hotel with Cassie.
Season's been bad, man.
Cassie says, "Yo, Diddy's at your house." He runs, leaves to go over there. Leaves her at the
Looks
hotel.
like the mission
So
area is
I
yours
guess
to capture
there's a
now.
home invasion.
The mission league that you're looking for.
Capture the mission area.
League, they have
Got a 0-4 Spider-Man, 0-3 Magic.
going to tell Cassie we're going to keep you unless she comes. And then Cassie comes, and that's then we get to 11 o'clock.
Okay, now this makes sense. So basically, they force Capricorn to go to the home invasion. She's sitting in the car, and they say, if
I
you
need
got
assistance.
Capricorn released, you need to come meet me.
You get a weapon. You get a weapon.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So they're really tying it up, man. I'm telling you.
Oh, shit.
I don't know how you're going to get around all this craziness.
Well, I said it.
I was
I said it the other
Thank
day when me and you spoke. They
My
got
time
him
to
dead to
shine
rights on his
around,
arson,
you
dude.
fool.
As a prerequisite crime, they got him dead to rights on
might
that
want to
one.
look
Like, this is
over
crazy.
here.
You got multiple witnesses kind of confirming the same story, and then you got police officers that put him at the scene at
Tandy
the
needs
time.
help.
Okay, now that makes sense, because I'm in my head, I'm like, why would Cassie go back to him? So she went back to get Capricorn released. And then he beat the crap out of Cassie.
Yeah, he's kicking her in the stomach, kicking her.
Your
kicking
team's
her in the
capture
fetal
progress has
position.
passed the
It's
halfway
crazy. So
point.
Capricorn gets on the phone, and she calls Cassie's mother and says, this dude's beating the shit out of your daughter. So now the mother calls the police.
Was this the day when he sparring kicked her in the back and she got the bruise on her butt?
No, that's a different day.
Armed and dangerous!
There's just so many different beatings.
Gotcha. Okay, because I do remember when she went back to New London, they took pictures of her then. When she was bruised. And I'll show the audience some of that. Because her mom did take pictures of her bruised. Okay, so
They've almost got it.
so
And
who
she
was the
wouldn't
next?
make a statement. Cassie wouldn't make a statement at all.
Oh, she never gave a statement about this beating, right?
She never gave a statement. So
Disgraces,
that's
man. These
amazing.
players are just such a disgrace, man.
Continuing to just ride for Diddy, even though he was beating the shit out of him. You know?
Okay. So, chat. These are the pictures that the government used.
You'll
Right
have to keep
here.
fighting until we have a winner.
Let me see if I can find. Okay, so this one right here. This was taken in December, guys. In December of 2011, and back in New London, Connecticut. Her mom took these pictures. Right, you can see a bruise on her lower back, and then you can see a bruise on her front leg. And these are the bruises that she had right after the home invasion event in December, because the invasion happened on the 22nd. Diddy beats her probably on the 22nd, 23rd, and then she goes back to Connecticut.
Trash, man.
On or about the 24th, 25th. So I'm showing them the picture. So that lines up there. Okay. So he beats her really bad. And then
So this is when the mother now gets involved, and she's like, "You're beating my daughter." But now Diddy sends the email and he's saying, "Listen, I'm gonna release these." Well, Cassie sends the email to her mother saying he's
Yes.
threatening to release these emails if these sex tapes and all that, if we don't comply and so forth. So I'm telling you, they're really burying him with these different.
The right
narratives.
heroes could make
yeah.
all
Okay.
the difference.
No, that makes
And then we
sense.
basically
We
went
are
to
cloak
the
and dagger.
drug use, how
We are
Diddy's
hope
drug
and
use
fear.
continues to increase dramatically, which caused him to act, out of pocket, which we've been seeing consistently for weeks going in.
When he was beating Cassie like this, was he always on drugs?
No, not always on drugs.
Okay.
But that's the narrative in the opening arguments, that's the only reason why he beat her is because of drugs. And remember, when Cassie was on the stand, the defense painted a picture as far as the Intercontinental
There's
Hotel.
always a spark
that
of
he was
light
on
in
bad
darkness.
drugs that day. Remember, they painted the picture that he took some bad
Yeah,
medication.
they said he was drunk.
He'll be
from
coming
what
in
I recall,
30
they said, I mean,
seconds.
he was
Stay
doing
strong.
everything. He was drunk, he was high, he was everything on the day that he beat her up. Which audience? That's that's the video, the infamous video of him running with the towel and beating Cassie's ass. That's the Intercontinental event. Okay, so we went over the testimony of Capricorn, the cops, kind of weaving it all together so the audience understands, because obviously when you put everything together, it makes sense.
The battle
Who's
starts
next
in
after
5,
Capricorn
4,
and the cops?
3.
Just before
2,
we leave that, if you don't mind,
1.
I'd
Yeah,
like to
please.
just hit one point.
You
So,
have to stop
under
them from securing the mission area.
With Brian Steele,
Yep.
he really brought out how, as of
so careless with
even last year, she's asking.
We gotta
I don't think that's the welcoming committee. That put a spring in my step.
Back as chief of staff.
Capricorn.
Yeah.
After she got fired.
I need assistance.
Okay.
And it shows
still.
the whole
I'm trying to
list
help.
of items, just like everybody
I'll
else.
be ship
showing
shape in
how
no
they
time.
really love Diddy beyond the point. She started, so he was letting her talk, and as she talked more and more, she started to reveal how she was envious, basically, of Cassie. And she even showed an email where she
My
said
time to
she
shine.
liked Diddy.
Gotcha.
So it really caused her story to fall apart the way, she was broken down on the
Lights out.
Okay, so that's interesting. So
My time to
and
shine.
chat again. Here's Capricorn on the side for you guys, so you can see.
That's a bad
She looks like
job.
this woman on the right. So just so I make sure I have this right. So Capricorn gets on the stand, right? And I'll summarize her and the police officers. You just tell me if I'm right, because you obviously know the trial.
Another team, man, is just gonna get wrecked, man.
Working
My teams have just been total shit, man.
For 5 days straight, working a lot of hours.
It's been bad, man. My last game was just so awful, man. This game is gonna be the same, man. They're just putting like, hey, are y'all human? Are y'all real? Or is this like bots? Cause it's just like been like feel like bot, like I'm like on bot teams, bro.
She goes into how her and Cassie developed a relationship.
It's unbelievable, man.
And she finds out Cassie's having an affair with Kid Cudi. She tells her, instructs her to get a
Tremble before fast! Extermination! Maximum!
I'm just sitting in the base, man.
in a rage at the end of December 2011. So they go to Kid Cudi's house because he had the address for Thanksgiving.
Just sitting in the base, man. It's another one of those games, man.
Break in, they go into his house.
No even point in playing this shit, man.
He shows up, according to her. They chase him around Hollywood, and then I guess
They doing good, man. Then I hop on this fucking shit, man. Same thing, man. Been like fucking bots on my team, man.
He beats the crap out of Cassie.
2 games in a row.
Shortly after that, goes back to Connecticut with Kid Cudi. Her mom documents the photos.
Y'all
of her
just
being bruised
let
and
them
everything
just
else like
push and
that.
end the game.
And then the
Don't even play it. Just let them end it.
Coming in confirmed
Just let it end as fast as possible.
that there was a Cadillac
Like give them no. Don't even just sit in the base. Let them just fucking put.
to Bad Boy Records, and obviously the discrepancy between Cudi's story where he said he showed up but Diddy wasn't there, and Capricorn's story where Cudi showed up and we chased them off. But the big thing, I guess the most important thing is that Diddy was at the scene, regardless of who recalls what.
Fucking crazy, man.
This is me speculating here on this point, not the facts, but I think Cudi might have left that part out that he got chased out.
Unbelievable, man.
That might be more embarrassing to him as a rapper and everything else like that. He just didn't want to reveal that part.
Maximum
Was there,
pulse!
and the police on scene that responded to 911 call saw that. Then, fast forward to January, he thinks everything's all good and done because him and Cassie haven't talked to each other. Because for the audience that doesn't know, after this Connecticut trip with Cudi and Cassie actually secretly went to Arizona to meet with Diddy after the beating and the home invasion. And she stopped talking to Cudi, but Cudi's Porsche still got firebombed. And when the arson investigators showed up, basically they took
Tremble
the
before
lost.
fast!
And it was at that point that pretty much Cudi made the decision to meet with Diddy, and Diddy played dumb when he asked him about the car. Would that be fair to say that's the summary?
Yeah, that's a perfect summary. But keep in mind also, just to add context, Cassie, remember she said that
It's fucking awful, man. First 2 matches been complete disaster of games, man.
Diddy said he wanted to blow up.
Complete disaster, man.
Give them another inch, or else.
So that was premeditated. I tied that into the previous Cassie testimony.
Okay, so Capricorn. Okay, that's important. That's an important fact. So Diddy voiced out that he was gonna blow his car up to Capricorn.
Yeah, ahead of time. No, to Cassie. Remember in Cassie's testimony, she said that.
Yes, she did say that. Okay. Okay.
Right. So here's something that's going viral. You want to tell you
Well,
about
you
this
can't
case?
expect to win them all.
Yeah.
Everybody's saying that Laura London was a part of the free call. But let me
Crazy,
tell you
bro.
what he said in court. Laura London was Cassie's best friend. She seemed to have a lot of best friends. So Laura London, Capricorn, and the chef Jordan. That
Unbelievable, man. So garbage, man.
particular day they're in the kitchen and Diddy is there. He's talking to them.
Again, man.
He's like, watch this. He calls Cassie in from another room. He says, bend down, stand up, walk over here, turn around, now get out of here. And he said, now this is the reason why you bees don't have a man. So, you know, that goes to show that the way he controlled her, you know, in essence, but nothing to do with Laura London being in freak offs.
Oh, wait, he did that to Laura London, or did he do that to Cassie?
He did that to Cassie. He did that to Cassie in front of them.
Okay, in front of Capricorn and Laura London.
And the chef Jordan.
Okay, the chef that he got in a fight with that he hit, right?
You'll have
Yes,
to keep
correct.
fighting until we have a
Okay.
winner.
All right. Wow. Okay. That's wild. All right. So, and Capricorn talked about that. All right. Cool. So we covered. Okay. We knocked out.
They tossed me into a losing match, man. You can't make this shit up, man.
Obviously, the prosecution put them together like that so they can, you know, because they brought Cuddy in first, then they brought Capricorn, then they brought in the police to kind of weave in this entire.
What a
arson
joke,
thing
man.
As a predicate offense for the racketeering charge. So, who came after that?
So then you have Nash.
Fury is almost
Okay, can you give the
yours.
audience a quick background on him?
Right. So
Extermination!
here's how he's going to come in and testify that on Cassie's birthday, Diddy wants her to have a
I am ready to put on a show.
Maximum pulse!
testify that she did not want to be sleeping with these
You'll have
strange
to keep
men.
fighting until we have a winner.
That was a big part.
So, this guy, if I'm not mistaken, is Cassie's hairstylist and gay, right? This guy too. Now, from what I was told, I saw Armand actually cover this. Apparently, he was probably one of the best witnesses for the government. He was saying that the jury loved him. He was very is trustworthy and truthful. I mean, what were your takes from his testimony?
That would be his interpretation, not mine. So
Okay, what's your interpretation?
My interpretation of him, he came off, he was a little too sassy for me, you know, for me. He wasn't really answering the questions. Every time the attorney was trying to ask him certain things, he was doing all this, you know, too much stuff. So
Just ran today and cleaned my apartment. I had a good day.
testimony
Nice, man. Nice. I'm glad we won that round.
on cross-examination.
30 seconds before you attack.
Obviously,
Get
he was,
ready.
you know,
Compliant. Okay.
yeah, very compliant. He came across
Look
like
at
he knew it
us.
all.
We
He
practically
tried to hype
match.
himself up, like
This
hype me
is
up. He was
haute
hyping himself
couture,
up like this
darling.
big picture.
Designed
But I'm
by
telling you, under
Jumbo
cross-examination,
Carnation
they brought him back to earth.
So it's good to have a clean apartment.
Take us through some of the direct testimony, then the contrasting
I'm
cross
practically
with him.
seething inside about
Okay,
how
all
good
right.
you
The
look.
battle starts in 5,
Let's see.
4,
So
3,
December
2,
2011
1.
Hollywood Division.
All you need to do
Control
is capture the
Officer.
mission area.
I think this is
Got it?
actually, no, this is getting into
Could I
the
please
Escalades.
just
Okay,
pay
so
to
he,
win this one?
that was the opening
I
of the
have the
day.
funds.
These notes are in regards to the
There's somebody.
officer
Heads up.
and also
Yo, this is the PDD case that they're talking about in the back, by the way.
basically he tells a story about how Diddy
Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now.
He's a very small guy.
Dr. Orr.
He throws him down, takes Leah jumps
Mission
on
area
Diddy's back,
is yours.
and he throws her against the wall. Then Diddy picks her up. He's got a wood bed with a wooden frame. He picks her up and he throws her down, and that's where you see that gash in her eyebrow comes from. Her hitting her eyes and he threw her down.
I'm doing this my way. Extermination!
To you know, by Nash.
And this was, if I'm not mistaken, this was because she was supposed to pack for Uvo Fest, right?
Yeah, from the whole break event.
Yeah, so let me give the audience real
Yo,
quick
Iron Man.
summary of this.
He's in the air.
Basically, the story is this. You guys can see the photo here of Cassie's face, her eyes.
Wow, he killed me from way over there.
The story with this one, I remember this vividly. They were supposed to go to Canada for Uvo Fest, or OVO Fest, whatever it's called. And Cassie and this Deontay Nash and I think one of her other friends, Carrie Morgan, They went out and they got drunk, and
Your powers are mine!
Cassie
I was
fell
fine,
asleep,
but thank
and
you.
Diddy shows up at the house and says, "Yo, what the fuck? You're
Keep
useless."
going.
Us against the world.
And then he like grabs her and throws her at like a bed frame, and it cuts her eye open here, which you guys can see her injury. And Deontay Nash was the witness to that. And you're saying that when that happened, Deontay Nash actually jumped on Diddy to defend Cassie?
Yes, on her back. You have my gratitude. He said he threw him down so easily because he's so small.
Gotcha. So was it Kerry Morgan that was there too, or just
Glory is almost yours. I am ready to put on a
So
show.
it's Deontay and Mia. Now, I thought it was Kerry for some reason. So it's Mia, Deontay, and Cassie.
Kerry was there after the leave the hotel, freak off, to go back to the hotel. He strangles her and hits her on the head with the wooden. As far as Nash, I pulled it up. So Nash basically, the bulk of his testimony, he's talking about this they went to South Africa. Cassie saw on the internet that it was Vegeta.
Almost too
And
late.
he started to, he was like, well, let me hook her up with Michael B. Jordan. So he was like, oh, I was the one that did that. He was doing his whole.
Okay, so because Michael B. Jordan did come up on Cassie's testimony that they were seeing each other for a short period of time.
Maximum
So you're saying Deontay said that.
Right. And they also asked
suppose that
about
helps.
Andre Grant.
Some uninvited guests.
The attorney that went across was saying that he was
Your powers are mine!
2017.
Your team's capture progress has
Like, what do you know about that? So we're seeing this guy as well. And, you know, this seems to not be too pressing.
Co-op time.
I got what's on the chat right now, who this Gina girl is, this Asian girl, that Cassie absolutely hates. Chat, you guys can see it right here. This is her. And this is a girl that Cassie basically broke up with, I think, for the last time in like 2017, 2018. Okay, so
You'll have to keep
first,
fighting it.
Again!
anything else?
Yeah, so basically they show, you know, they're constantly showing emails and what have you. So on March of 2019, Cassie writes the email. She said, this nigga tripping. We both did the same amount of
Another
everything.
epic victory.
And I tried to keep him from embarrassing himself. So basically, they're establishing by means of Nash that Diddy is on drugs like crazy.
Damn, P. Diddy crazy. Y'all hear this, right?
This is involving in why he's beating everybody, especially beating Cassie.
Gotcha. Anything else that Nash? Oh, and then on Cross, what did they get him with? Because you said they humbled him a bit.
Yeah, again, I have a whole slew of the emails, but basically in the emails he's saying, oh, you know, he's trying to be cool. Every time Diddy has a birthday, he's bigging him up. Hey, you know, your birthday. He wants to come back and work for Diddy, or he, you know, they all have this same aura. They want to still deal with Diddy. They show a consistent pattern over the years.
So even if he when he made tricks, that showed you all that money and all that fame and all that shit, bro.
For Deontay, they showed that, oh, Diddy, you guys claim on direct that he's such a monster, but you know, on their Cross, they're like, you contacted him years after you left the job, or you continued to stay in contact with him and you said positive things. If he was such a monster, why would you keep reaching back out to him? Is that what they're basically saying?
Yeah.
Right. He also testified that the videos were basically on Cassie's phone that came out, and then he went through the whole 29th birthday that we started off talking about. And basically on that birthday, all the facts are coming out how Diddy just on her, I want to do a freak off, and she's trying to, she don't want to do that on her birthday. You see what I'm saying? So he really drove home the point.
I'm trying to do a freak off on her birthday.
You know, wanting to have this time to herself, but Diddy just was driving her to a freak off. So it came out, he said that she had a duffel bag with sex toys and cash of $1,000 to go to some place at night, and she texts Nash saying it was a secret place that she's going. So
Gotcha.
that's
Okay.
basically, you know, what they were saying. So
Okay. Anything else, I guess, as far as his testimony goes on either direct or Cross that you want to add, or you want to go next witness?
No, I think he's pretty much done.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't. He didn't have a very exciting testimony to me from my my reference point.
Okay.
But one thing that did come out, he was texting back and forth with Diddy, and Diddy was like, "Not the trainer." That's all that
Pick
came
your
out.
hero.
But that's her husband,
Or
right?
villain.
So
I'm
Yeah.
not
when Diddy
judging.
found out about that cheating, he had texted Nash about it. Like, why you didn't tell me?
Oh,
forth.
when Cassie started seeing Alex, the trainer.
Yeah.
So this is
Nash
2018
was-
then?
We are cloak and
Yeah,
dagger.
2018.
Okay.
We are hope and
Okay.
fear.
Yeah, because I remember Cassie saying she started dating, what's his name, in 2018, and that's when she also had, she allegedly was raped by Diddy as well, and she also had consensual sex with him as well. So that's interesting. Okay.
They all wanted to try to encourage her to leave Diddy. In fact, I think it was Capricorn that told her to leave Diddy, but she was like,
Before we had
"Where am I
powers,
gonna go?
we
Jay-Z
had each
is
other.
taken." So that's why
That
Jay-Z
bond is
hit the media
unbreakable.
pretty hard with that statement.
The money, hey, that money and that power.
Okay.
Get ready.
So Capricorn
Hey.
wanted a job with Rockefeller or something. She couldn't get it. Or?
No, this is Cassie. Cassie made that statement. Capricorn was telling Cassie, "Go find a different."
Does Myron not listen?
And so
That's where you don't. Like, bro, I love listening, bro, bruh.
Jay-Z is taken. So
Gotcha.
This nigga not listen?
person that she would be able to take.
Battle
And
starts
I'm
in
sure the
5,
defense probably beat her up on that she's a clout
3,
chaser and just wanted to be around powerful men.
1.
Yeah, well, of
The
course.
whole
All you
event,
need
the
to
whole
do is
day,
capture the
basically
mission
back and
area.
forth.
Got
They're
it?
paying, all of the witnesses are falling into the same box under cross-examination, and not only that, they're also going back to their notes from when they were testified to the prosecutors back in the last part of last year.
Yeah.
And even in the case of Nash, they interviewed him, I believe, just 2 days ago before he came to court. So I found that to be very interesting.
Wow. Okay.
So while we're sitting in court, they're out here, interviewing these witnesses.
Gotcha. Okay. That's interesting. All right. So they do Nash. All right. Cool. Who's the next witness? Mia, right?
Mia.
Okay. Now this one's a big one. I know who she is. I think someone in my chat revealed it. I don't want to put you in a weird spot because I know that they told you in the court. I mean, you could go ahead and tell them what they told you about this chick.
Okay, so basically in court, she comes in, but we have the overflow. They shut down the monitors there, and also in the courtroom, initially they shut down the monitors, but you couldn't show her on it. As far as the artists go, they would not allow them to draw a picture of her, and they basically told us if we catch you, writing or drawing any picture of her or her description, you're gonna be out of here. So one guy sitting next to me, he had his head bent down. They thought he was drawing. They wouldn't have pulled him right out of there. Took his notepad from him. I was like, man, they're gangster in here, you know what I mean? But at any rate, she came in, she started giving her testimony.
Were you in the main courtroom? Did you see her?
Yeah.
You actually saw her. Okay.
Yeah. I've been in the main courtroom every day since you left. So I've only been in overflow twice.
Okay. So you actually, and just for the chat again, guys, the reason why this is important is because since this case is so big, there's hundreds of reporters there. There's only 10 spots in the main courtroom to really get into to see, so it's very difficult. You got to be online early. So Mel's been able to kind of finesse and get in there every single time. So he's obviously able to see this witness, but everyone else has not seen her because in the overflow rooms, the other courtrooms, when they show you the closed circuit television, they don't show her. She's the only witness they're not showing. So you have to be in the actual courtroom to see her. So, so you're in there. They're being very serious about her testimony and stuff like that. They've already leaked her name all over the place, but I don't want to put you in a weird spot. So she walks in. You said that she walked in with like a bunch of different agents.
Yeah, she had 9 different people with her. It turns out that some of it is her friends and family too. So,
Sure. Okay.
Bro, we're gonna push. We're gonna do something, man. Like, we're just standing here, man.
Straight out the gate, you can tell she's very uncomfortable.
Teams, man. The fuck is going on, man?
Direct, right?
Correct.
And she was crying the whole time from what I remember when we last spoke.
The whole time. I don't know if you ever seen Jamie Foxx playing Ray Charles, but he said that's how she was talking. She wasn't making complete sentences. She was stumbling over her words. It
Fucking
just
nightmare.
It seemed to be too much, But I'm not. Hey, listen, that's her story. she's a victim. I'm gonna keep it at that.
Shit, man.
Okay, so
Poor kid.
Man, I've been getting disaster teams, man. But yo, shout out to Julian, man. How's it going?
indirect, she goes through.
How's everyone doing? Yo, this is
incidents with Diddy, right?
yo, this is the P Diddy case they're talking about in the back. By the way,
Straight out the gate, they started off about the violence. And
this is the
asking her
P Diddy
about,
case in the
what happened
background.
to her. She says that he would throw things at her, spaghetti, throwing things on the wall, threw her into the pool.
This is
hit
P
her on the
Diddy.
head,
Wait,
slammed
Cassie.
her arm into the door.
This is Cassie saying P Diddy does this to her.
That incident happened when she was trying to get away from him, and he, basically slammed her. Actually, she was trying to get her cell phone back from him, and he slammed her arm into the door.
Damn, he's abusive.
I'm ready to put on a show.
P Diddy's pretty abusive.
Turning into that he's beating all these other people on the perimeter, and to me that's to be a real serious.
Yeah, he's an abusive man, that's for sure.
So, so with her, did she focus mostly on her getting beat up, or did she also talk about how she saw other people get beat up too?
She talked about everybody getting beat up, and she told it, in a very convincing way the first day. But she did talk about more than just herself.
Okay, so she got beat. She witnessed other people get beat. Cassie mostly, right?
And she talked about how Deontay Nash, he was getting beat in the back of the head.
Damn.
Yeah, so then Cassie got thrown down, and
Yeah.
So P Diddy not just beating Cassie, he beating everybody. That money and that power, bro.
Cassie had already told the story.
He thought he was invisible. He thought he could just beat you, do whatever he want, and you weren't gonna do nothing to him.
She was talking about how flagrant Diddy was. She said when she went to work for him,
He did beating everybody.
Hold on one sec. Hold on one sec, Mel. You go ahead. You tell the audience, and I'll. Give me 1 sec.
You'll have to keep fighting.
Okay, so under that particular circumstance, she went to work for Diddy. Diddy shows up to the door wearing nothing but his underwear. So to her, I think that was her for a loop.
You're gonna go in there?
She was expecting somebody so professional, and he shows up to the door with his underwear, and he's all over the place. I think that's set the tone.
Bro,
for
get
her.
off Spider-Man, man. You Spider-Mans are so trash, man. I'm tired of losing, and I keep having you garbage-ass Spider-Mans off my team. Get off of that shit. You suck. Get off of Spider-Man, dude.
Hey,
Holy
how about you
shit.
try crying harder, see if that helps.
Dude, you ain't doing anything either. Get off of Rocket. We already got a garbage-ass Spider-Man. Now we got a useless
It's
Rocket,
quick play
too.
when you calm the fuck down.
This is why y'all don't go nowhere like, man, this is quick play, man. This is quick play, man. This is why I'm fat. This is why I don't have a vein showing. This is why I will never have an ab showing. Because what should I try, man? You only live one time, man. Why even try, man? Fucking losers, man. You got this
Dude, I can smell you from here.
got this 6-9 fucking trash on my team. I want to fucking win. Get off of that fucking pick. You're garbage at Spider-Man. Give it up. You suck.
We're winning. Go to comp if you want to cry. Jesus Christ. It's embarrassing.
He's 6-9.
And she said 4 or 5
That shit's embarrassing, dude. Trash. 6-9.
You crying
Get out of
in an
here,
online
dude.
game is what's
In one
embarrassing.
round. He went 6-9 in one fucking round, dude. Fuck you. This is what's wrong with
Christ,
America,
this is
dude.
so
No.
sad.
This is what's wrong with our fucking country. This is why everyone's fucking fat and weak and poor. Because motherfuckers like you. He's 6-9.
We're not in your country, idiot.
It doesn't fucking matter. Our world is getting fucked, and guess what? The sun's gonna fucking purify. It doesn't matter. Fuck you, dude. Getting rid of all this fucking trash. Got this 6-9 fucking trash on our fucking team. You're sitting here trying to justify this shit. Ooh, it's just quick play, man. It's just quick play, man. Fucking loser, dude. Got this garbage ass Spider-Man on our fucking team. Dude's fucking trash, dude. Dude went 6-9 in one fucking round. How do you get 10 deaths in one round, dude? Get off of that fuck. I'm tired of having these Spider-Mans. Every round they're fucking garbage, man. The dude said he already has, look, he's 10 deaths.
He calls her in the kitchen now. No one else.
Fucking garbage, man.
He gives her 2 shots of Ciroc, and they started to draw this picture out on prosecution.
So Kobe, are you still there? The fuck, man?
Oh, it's just quick play, man. It's just quick play, man.
Still want to fucking win, man. Get off that fucking pick, man.
It was so bad that when she woke up,
The mentality of these people, man. That's why most people are fat, weak, and poor. It doesn't matter if it's quick play. You should still fucking try. Okay, I'm 6-9. Let me get off of this pick, man, so I can do better for my team. It's not fair that I'm doing this from, and my team has to suffer because I want to pick Spider-Man and go 6-9. Okay, that's enough of this. Let me now pick something else so I can try to help win. No, man. No. No, not at all. Not at all.
So she started to explain. One time they were going on this trip, and she's down on the floor, and Diddy's
damn, he just got healed up.
She's on her knees and just doing her thing, and Diddy walks up and he puts his midsection in her face, and he starts to assault her brutally. And that was the first time that it was really aggressive, and she was crying.
Garbage ass DPS players on my teams, man.
Her hair was, had two little bangs or what have you, so she kept trying to get it out of her eyes.
10 and 10, man.
But it was a slow
fuck out of here, man.
To hear her go through this process, she was on the stand, let's say 6.
Dude had 9 deaths in 1 round. One round, 9 deaths. On Spider-Man, that's embarrassing, bro. That's bad.
Yeah, she was assaulted by Diddy. It was on an airplane.
Maximum.
This is her word. They're on this private jet.
Who gets 9, literally? Who gets 9 deaths in 1 round, bro? That is crazy.
Section, she said there's a big bed in the back.
Of course, there's always a Spider-Man, man.
When she comes out the bathroom, Diddy is standing there like a monster, and he pushes her back into the bathroom. So that's her testimony.
He said Diddy standing there like a monster. Diddy terrorizing people. He got that money, bro. Diddy thought he was invisible, man. That's what he thought. He thought he had that. Well, he got that money. He could do what he want, man.
She said she's sleeping. She comes through. She feels the weight, heavy weight of a man or what have you on top of her. And Diddy takes one hand, unloosens his pants, and then he continues to violate her. So it was a very long day, slow day. This is day 1 of her testimony, and she's crying more than any other witness. Now, Captain Thorne cried, but this particular witness, she was very convincing. She cried.
Dude's 11 and 10, man. That's embarrassing, bro. That's awful, man. There's 11 and 10 fucking Spider-Man.
There we go. Now you can go to bed happy.
Can you hear me now?
He's still garbage. He's 11 and 10, bro. Don't justify and fucking hype that man up. He's trash, man.
You can't hear me?
Man's fucking trash. 11 and 10, man. Don't sit there and hype that motherfucker up. Don't sit there trying to justify that shit, man.
Shit, I was fucking muted on the Zoom.
The fuck? He needs to get off of that pick. Stop playing Spider-Man.
Of her being sexually assaulted by him, right?
We don't want no. Get off of Spider-Man. You suck.
Wow. And then obviously the numerous beatings as well. And then obviously the numerous beatings.
Right. She was getting beat also left and right.
P. Diddy ain't playing, bro. I didn't realize P. Diddy was beating these people like this. Not just Cassie. P. Diddy beating everybody. P. Diddy start beating on you, bro, or start threatening. He like to threaten people too.
Okay.
P. Diddy showed up to Kid Cudi's house. He went inside of Kid Cudi's house. He'll pull up and go in your house and wait for you. P. Diddy's like on that level. He's showing up to your house and waiting for you at your house on your couch in your house.
Closing of Friday, they're trying to impeach her.
P. Diddy wasn't playing, bro.
The media is not covering it. I stayed late. You know how we stayed late to hear all the details.
Yes.
Brian Steele's trying to.
Yeah, bro.
On what grounds?
Makes me wonder if he's.
Not being true.
It makes me wonder if he's, taking some people out. I bet there's some people who aren't alive no more because of him, man. Like straight up.
Okay, so you guys went a little bit longer on Friday.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because guys, they're supposed to be.
I wouldn't doubt it, man.
A little bit longer. So let me. Okay, so on direct, she talks about getting beaten, and then 4 instances where. Well,
I wouldn't doubt it, man.
Diddy, right?
After hearing all this about P. Diddy, I wouldn't doubt there's some people that got taken up because of him. He's too violent, man. He got too much money. All that violence that he's displaying, plus all that money, maybe he hasn't did it, but he's definitely paid people to take other people out for sure. They got.
Okay. Then on.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's safe to say he paid to get some people taken out. There's no way he hasn't.
Severance package, and I guess some sort of lawsuit, but she only walked away with 200 and some thousand. That did come out in court as well. So it seems that all of them, in some form or fashion, have received money from Diddy, and there's also current lawsuits being filed either already or in the process. Like with Nash, they brought out that he's trying to sue Diddy now with a new case. So
these film got a Spider-Man on our team right now.
Until cross-examination really, brought it out. Now the second day, of course, as far as Mia goes.
Yeah, you took way too much damage.
Got more direct. Okay.
Go ahead.
No. I'm saying so that we still got more direct then. My bad. I didn't know if you had finished the direct with her.
Yeah.
Let me.
The second day was primarily cross.
Okay, which is Friday.
Friday is cross. And
How much time did Brian spend cross-examining her?
pretty much most of the day.
Get in here, y'all.
Okay.
Yeah, most of the day, and it will continue.
I'll get you next time.
Now, here's the thing. This
Damn.
is why it took so long. It was a tough day in sports. Basically, they have the scrapbook, and there's a big argument about the prosecutors don't really want the jurors to see it per se. So basically, she put together Diddy's legacy in a scrapbook all by herself. So they break down this whole scrapbook, but the first part of the cross-examination, there's probably, let's say, 100 exhibits of her social media during the time working with Diddy and after. And she's calling him something like a god. I mean, the way she described Diddy, she's
Like a god.
on her social media without any direction from Diddy. She's doing this from her heart. Follow what I'm saying?
All that money and that power, bro. He could beat on you. He beating on people and they won't even leave. He got that much money. Diddy's like a billionaire, right? Yeah, you gotta think about it. He's like a black billionaire, yo. He's out here beating on people, bro. He got that much money, he could beat on you, and you ain't go to you.
Really attacked her on this hard with the social media.
It was bad, real bad.
I mean, I heard some people say that he totally destroyed her credibility because. So just so I paint a picture for the audience here. So she gets on the stand and she says Diddy did all these things to her. She names, 4 sexual assaults, multiple instances of Diddy beating her up, etc. Right? Then
Damn Diddy, bro.
Young Thug's lawyer, guys, gets on cross-examination and attacks her with her own social media posts. Right? And in these social media posts, after she had been fired with Diddy, and I think while she was employed with him too, right?
My time to shine.
Yes, wow.
So they have posts when she was employed and when she had left.
Diddy's a
employment,
savage.
She's praising Diddy. She's saying he's awesome. I love him. He's giving me a certain lifestyle, whatever.
Yeah, giving that lifestyle, that billionaire lifestyle.
Her
beating on people, bro. Threatening people, man.
Yeah, that was the first exhibit that they
Bruh,
showed.
Diddy is a straight savage, bruh.
And then the second exhibit.
I wonder how Jay-Z is. Are we going to hear some stuff about Jay-Z? Is Jay-Z a savage?
Like pretending to deliver a baby to her?
Yeah.
Bro, he has to be. He has to be. Jay-Z has to be a savage like P. Diddy, man. There's no way he's not.
Give birth to her dreams. It's like probably
Gotta be, bruh.
Event in her life that she wants to tie it to Diddy on her Instagram, and she's tagging I am Diddy.
Okay. Shit.
Then the second one was the most incriminating.
He didn't even get anybody. Poor Jeff and them olds. He ain't got nobody 2 times.
Now, mind you what he had did to her and how he abused her when she was in the closet, but he has his hand wrapped around his crotch area.
Ooh, Diddy, man.
Basically. And she posts this on her social media of him holding his crotch like Michael Jackson and want everybody to believe that this is the same guy that,
That assaulted her.
abused her. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't do that.
So, would you say those are the 2 worst pictures for her?
Yeah.
Yeah, those were the worst ones that I saw.
That sounds pretty conflicting.
Really, 100 different of these photos.
See, this is the thing. I don't think he's gonna get in trouble for any thing. Well, he's going to prison for sure.
After listening to, Brian still didn't even do the whole day.
The arson with explosion on the cars and all this physical beating and stuff. But I don't think he's really getting in trouble for
Remember, I don't know if you
sexual assault and stuff. He's gonna get fucked because of all these other things he's doing. The sexual assault stuff sounds like that's just consent, man. Oh, that shit's just he did this, all lies. But all this other shit's coming out. He's done, bro. I don't know how much time Diddy gonna get, but he's gonna get some time for sure. Diddy's getting time, yo.
Very similar. Now, what came out in court? This was the most astounding thing for me. Is that Nash?
Yeah, he's getting some time.
And Cassie have been talking.
I can't see how Diddy can avoid time.
Along the way, and to me, I'm not an attorney, but I would think that would be a cause for a big concern.
Huge, bro. And I was actually going to ask you about that because this is something that kind of came out. So Brian Steele starts beating her up on the stand about her Instagram post where she's praising Diddy and everything else like this. Then we find out that her and Cassie and Deontay, they're all best friends. They've been talking to each other every day leading up to the trial. That's wild. And then on top of that, I got a picture of Cassie and what's her name, Mia, walking together in New York City after Diddy was arrested in November, late November 2024.
Crazy.
They're walking in Manhattan. Some paparazzi took a picture and I saw it on Twitter.
Wow.
So you can make the argument that they were all kind of
colluding, coming
together with a story. Because,
exactly.
Cassie had her lawsuit, and then after she filed her lawsuit, everyone else filed after that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like it was like.
Crazy, man.
Or did Mia file her lawsuit first? It was Cassie that filed it, right?
Time to get the bag. 1, 2, 3.
Now, Mia and Capricorn had filed for, working issues, discrimination at work or whatever. But now they're starting to file these cases, I guess, in regards to the same one that Cassie, especially with this guy, Nash. Came out of court. He tried to act like he wasn't doing it, but the lawyer painted a pretty good picture that he has filed a lawsuit. He showed the documentation for it.
Was that a lawsuit?
He dug in his heels though that he wasn't trying to get money, but he was like, "Oh, I just got to protect me. My attorney to protect me."
Damn, P. Diddy, bro.
So this is crazy because
P. Diddy's a savage, y'all.
Or the cross-examining lawyer showed that Brian still had maybe not a lawsuit, but a demand probably out there.
Yes, he does have a demand out there.
Yeah, because what I noticed is like they'll ask him, "Do you have any legal proceedings?" And they'll say no, and technically they'll tell him the truth. But what they will have instead of a lawsuit is like they'll have a demand. I noticed that Cassie did that as well with Intercontinental, and she got $10 million for that. She tried to skirt it when they asked her, "Do you have any legal lawsuits?" And she said no. And said, "Is it not true in this court that you settled a demand for like $10 million?" And that exposed her.
Right.
Man. Okay. So Deontay has a demand. Did he get paid any money yet or no?
No, it's new. I guess he's just trying to get this over with, and then he'll go do his thing,
Then we know the girl from Danny Kane, Dawn, she has a lawsuit. We know Mia has a lawsuit, or a demand, and she already got paid. She got like $400K, right?
Damn.
Yeah.
Everybody eating off Diddy right now.
Damn, man. And she has
crazy.
Walked away with 200 and some thousand.
Okay. Because she gave
everybody's suing him to get hundreds of thousands and millions and shit.
Something else like that, right? She was supposed to make way more, wasn't she?
Yeah, that's all she got. But again, she's gonna probably end up getting more. They say if he gets the RICO, he might lose it all. So I don't know how that's gonna affect.
Oh, he might lose all his fortune.
But it'll be interesting.
They're gonna take everything away from Diddy.
So okay, so this is very interesting. So Brian,
one time Mia woke up and Diddy had poured ice all over, dumped it all over her head and her body.
What?
Waking up like that. Another time he took her phone.
Diddy.
She was trying to get the phone back.
Playing.
Through the door, he slammed the door on her arm twice.
Ooh.
There's a lot of threats of releasing videos and all sorts of things. But again,
they never left.
I had a problem with Mia, and that is on the second day when it came time to explain about the emails, they pull up an email. Like she sent an email to D-Rock and they said, "You read this." And this chick said, "D-Rock." And the day before, she could barely talk. And today she let out this real sensational voice.
Even
I'm
when
like,
you can't
is this the
see
same
me,
chick
I'll still
from
make you
yesterday?
believe.
You know what I'm saying?
You'll be
So
coming
it's
in
like
30 seconds. Stay
this
strong.
case is just like a circus. The first day you hear you hear direct, you're like sold on abuse, which I'm not disputing.
Mm-hmm.
But then you hear cross and you're like, man, I don't know if I can believe any of this. You know what I'm saying?
Now, the other thing also with them going after her is they're saying that she doesn't speak the way that she spoke on the stand, and they're trying to introduce video of how she really speaks. Is that true? That basically.
Yeah. So let me tell you what happened. The same day, the first day that they told us not to go and try to identify who she was or do any of that. The next day they came back and Agnafilio, actually it was Shapiro that explained that over the night.
And Shapiro is Diddy's lawyers, guys. Agnafilio, Brian Steele, Shapiro, these are all Diddy's lawyers. He has like a team of like 7 or 8 lawyers.
Yeah, so someone had sent over an email. They're trying to help Diddy win. So they sent over this, not an email, but a video of her for Diddy's birthday. She put together a composite of
what the fuck? How did he
putting together a video?
How did he even take me out like that, man? Another Spider-Man, man.
Oh, so this Mia made a video composite of like all the memories.
Yeah. So that video will be at the end of Friday. They came up with that they're going to probably allow it in court now. The judge said that.
Wow. Okay. And in the video, is she in the video too, I'm assuming, or did she just create it?
That's much better.
Yeah, because I could see the video on the attorney's monitor, and I saw her.
That's one of the perks of being in the main courtroom, baby. That's one of the perks of being in the main courtroom.
I probably shouldn't have said that online.
No, you good, bro. Everything there is fair game. You can observe everything. You know, it's a public courtroom. They literally. So, all right. So you saw the. Wow. Okay. So that's gonna be. That's huge, man. Another thing I heard, because I watched Ahmad break this down. He said that whenever Brian started to like get on her neck about like her Instagram posts or her, you know, saying XYZ about Diddy, and he shows the Instagram post of her, you know, praising him, she would revert back to using certain psychological terms like the psychiatrist used a week before, you know, these buzzwords. Was that true as well?
That's all she was doing the whole time, and it just came across really.
Thanks so much.
Really odd, you know, her method. It was just like with Nash the day before when the attorney was on the cross and putting the screws to him. Oh, can I get a break? You know, the judge says, okay, yeah, we'll give you a break. I'm like, this is the best moment. You're gonna give him a break, you know what I mean? So it is what it is. But she did that a lot. And whenever she felt like he was really putting the heat on her, she started that whole practice.
Okay, so did she cry more on direct or on cross?
More on direct, but cross, it seemed like she was crying whenever the heat was on.
You think she's like rehearsed that shit, bro? Honestly, to cry?
She wasn't convincing the second day. She hadn't shown him day one, but that happens a lot. We get on the first day, we get that direct. It seems like we always end at the end of the day, and then start talking. Next day, media, we go home and everybody's going crazy about what Mia said, and then the next day, everybody's saying Mia fell apart. See what I'm saying? So that's the pattern with this case.
Wow. Okay. So what do you think, man? I mean, you had this week of testimony. Give me your overall. We summarized everything now. I don't think we leave anything out before we get into your personal thoughts.
No, that's all.
So you were there in the courtroom, bro. Obviously, you know, you see a whole different degree. You're seeing the jurors. You're seeing Diddy. You're seeing the defense. You're seeing the witnesses understand how they react to questions. You know, it's one thing to report on this. It's another thing to be in a courtroom. That's one thing I noticed. And the only reason why I'm able to ask you these very detailed questions is because I was there, so I know exactly what to ask. But obviously, when you're there, you see what's going on. So what are your overall thoughts after week 3? Which witnesses were the most credible, which weren't, and where do you see this going for next week?
All right, I think at this point in the case, I'm 60 for prosecutors and 40 for Diddy as far as who's winning right now. And the defense still has to put on their story, so that could be a big problem if they put on a great story. But for this week, for the most part, I thought that Capricorn was the best witness as far as telling her story. You could see some truth in it. It was very damaging. I don't know how Diddy's going to be able to get around it, but I saw that.
She put the nail on the coffin for arson, right? You would say she's the one that put the nail in the coffin for the Kid Cudi arson event?
Yeah, because she's the one in the car, and she tied the whole thing up. And I don't know how they're going to be able to get around it. I don't think the defense did a great job. Until Brian Steele, I mean, he did a stellar job. But before him, the other attorneys just didn't deliver enough to totally shoot down Capricorn's testimony. So that, to me, she's a star witness, probably almost equal to Cassie as far as the damage that she's done, as far as painting the picture of Diddy having violence and drugs and everything else. I mean, the whole mafia. You know the problem with her story?
Yeah.
Is that when I went to Donald Trump's trial every day, and I was in the courtroom when Costello, we all got kicked out of Trump's trial, I would sit in that trial and not know what's going on, the verbiage and everything else. It was just so it was just different, right? It was just coming up with stuff. But this trial here, they painted a movie of her walking into this building. The guy locks the door behind her. She goes up to the 4th floor. There's a guy sitting there smoking cigarettes back to back. That's a problem, because now I can come back and say what happened pretty decently. And the jury is walking away, because they have my same pretty much demographic, right? Same age group, what have you. So these points are going to stick with them, and I think it's going to be hard to get around it.
Feel the wrath of the
I'll tell you
goddess!
this, she might have just saved the Rico case because I'll be honest with you, I thought that the Rico was fairly weak when they brought it together, between Cassie and using these prostitutes or whatever. What Capricorn's basically done is she's confirmed 2 of the main prerequisite crimes. The arson, I think she pretty much hit it out the park, and then you add in the cops saying that they saw the vehicle there, then and there. That confirms that she was telling the truth, right? Because she gave a vehicle description, and the cops confirmed that vehicle description via license plate. And then obviously Kid Cudi confirms it as well, because there was a 911 call that day and everything else. So that confirms on that arson of the home invasion, the kidnapping, all this other stuff. So she probably, from what you've told me, she seems to be one of the most credible witnesses. Now, what I will say is, Mia, to me, just looking at how the government took great care to protect her identity. Comey's the one that's examining her, which is a big deal. The fact that the lead at USA is direct examining her tells me quite a bit. That she was supposed to be the star witness, but from what you're telling me, the defense has already been able to, put a bunch of chinks in her iron. So I think it was supposed to be Cassie, and then Mia, and then Capricorn probably were their top 3. Oh no, don't they have one more woman coming in?
Gina is supposed to be coming in, but they can't get a hold of her for whatever reason.
No, but isn't there supposed to be another woman that he did free calls with in 2020, the single mom?
Yeah, but that's probably victim number 5. Number 3 is Gina. Then you have 4 and 5 still coming. So,
bro, what the fuck? Dude, did they increase the witness list?
But let me tell you this real quick.
Yo, what's up, Jaden C?
Said on Thursday that
this is Myron Gaines talking about the P. Diddy case.
And they're going to need more time for the trial because they're going to call.
I can't show up on here because they be flagging for copyright and shit.
Enough witnesses to build their case, so they.
Not most YouTubers, most channels don't, but they do.
Okay, because I remember originally it was supposed to be 17 witnesses.
I can show a little bit, but I can't.
Like that?
Just show.
Yeah.
We're at around 21 now.
These two.
Because I remember when I left, it was 16. Cudi was the 16th. Then we got Capricorn, police officer, arson investigator.
That's who's talking.
Deontay Nash. That's 5.
You're talking about the P. Diddy trace. They're talking about P. Diddy right now.
Let me tell you, I forgot to tell you this right here. This is outside of court when they have the conference, right? They have Jules. He's the sex worker that's going to be coming up. He's the one that was in the room for the Intercontinental Hotel stay, right?
Yes.
Listen, this is what they're debating in the court, and this is what's going to cause a big problem for the RICO. They have Diddy's American Express card showing he paid for these airplane tickets, the hotels. They have this guy Jules on they said metadata on the camera in the hotel of him arriving.
Yo, what's up, Gene?
And also
bro, are you Diddy trying? No, I'm not.
Talking to Cassie about showing up there. It's a big problem.
This guy.
Big problem, man. And guess what? They were in L.A. Jules flew from New York. So there you go. That's over the border.
Yeah. So, but my question is, how would that help? You're saying that that's going to help Diddy?
No, that's going to help burn him. That's what.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna hurt him.
Okay. Yeah. No, that will if they bring in Jules.
Oh, they're bringing him in. That's
team to win this one.
Oh, he is gonna be okay because he was one of the main.
We're starting after Mia. We're gonna have the police officer. I guess Intercontinental. I don't know which one, but they just said police officer.
I came from your video on where?
So after Mia,
what video?
Got another LAPD officer coming in.
Yeah, so I think they're gonna start this whole thing about maybe Jules. I don't know.
Weird. Well, I don't know why they would bring, because the police weren't called the Intercontinental.
They didn't say L.A. They just said they have a police officer coming in to testify Monday morning.
I wonder from what though, because
you know what? They said he's local. I remember that now. He's local. He's out of New York. So
the Diddytron video. I haven't made a Diddytron video in a long time. What are you talking about?
He's local, so they could.
I haven't said anything about Diddytron in a long time.
Yeah, because the Intercontinental, they already got their witness from there, and remember the cops were never called when she got beat for that. I know one sergeant showed up and gave Cassie her business card, but Cassie never followed up. So. Okay, so Brian's gonna finish up his cross-examination with me probably Monday then.
4,
Yeah, tomorrow morning,
3,
bright and early.
2,
Okay, so he's gonna. Okay. Do you think Mia's credible anymore? Because I think she was one of the main witnesses the government was relying on. That's why they took off. The fact that Comey's hitting her with the direct examination, and on top of that, they took all this painstaking effort to conceal her name. That tells me that the government thought she was going to be their star witness. I think even over Cassie.
After court on Friday, Brian Steele is trying to impeach her, and they have some solid information. You know Brian Steele's not playing around.
Yeah.
So obviously they're going to come back in and show that she's been untruthful. That's going to be a problem. Already everybody in the audience, you could tell even.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's been a while since it.
At first she had everybody sold.
What's up, Jaden? Yeah, it's been a while since I made that video.
I keep telling you.
Yeah, appreciate you, dude. Appreciate you for being here. It's funny that they're talking about Diddy right now in the background.
There's some jurors that I believe that are going to swing Diddy's way if we were to close this case today.
Okay, so you saw their faces when Brian Steele was hammering me on cross.
They're not buying. They love Steele and they love the black guy Donaldson.
The jurors do.
The one that they put up the one he puts on the show and they start lighting up. You know he does all the.
I am ready to put on a show.
Okay, so I think Donaldson sucks, the black guy, to be honest with you.
He does, but listen, they love him. That's the key. Sometimes it's not how bad you suck; it's about who likes you. You know.
I guess.
Jurors like him. Yeah.
Okay. So you saw their faces turn when Brian was hammering Mia then.
Oh man, you could tell they probably watched Young Thug's trial. You know?
Yeah.
They love, I mean, Brian Steele is commanding. They love him. It could sway this thing. That's just my opinion.
Okay.
And listen, when what's her name? Dawn Rashad left the stage. I remember, or the spot. The juror female, she looked over to the guy and said she's lying, and the guy said yes, she's lying. So you know they're communicating.
Yeah, this Marvel Rivals. Gene, where you from?
This week I had
that little black female, that female black lawyer, the short one. She cooked Dawn, bro. I was telling my audience when I was breaking down that day of testimony for Dawn on Cross how she destroyed her so many times because she gave multiple stories on the whole Skillet incident of Diddy hitting Cassie with the frying pan.
Right.
So Dawn looked really not credible there, you know, and obviously she has a fucking lawsuit as well. So, how do you? Is the defense gonna? Have they brought up the fact that like, at least in court, has the defense brought up the fact that like all these people are friends and they've been talking to each other all this time before this trial? Like the defense.
That's the part that really bothers me. And to me, that was worse than what they tried to get a mistrial for because I mean, maybe they're building up to something, but they constantly ask like Nat, when the last time you talked to Cassie? Oh, just last night. I did her outfits for the trial. And she just had her baby last night, and the baby's good. Like, he knows all her business, they're best friends. And then Mia, they pull her on the stand the next day. She tells the same story. When the last time you talked to Cassie? Oh, yeah. Oh, we didn't talk about the trial then. So Mia is very smart, but she comes across like she's, you know, she's really designing all her little story. That's just my opinion.
No, I mean that's very important, bro. And the fact that Brian Steele confronted her with all these Instagram posts. I mean, how many Instagram posts did he confront her with? I heard like 5 or 10 posts he confronted her with.
No, way more than that. We spent all day on the post. That's why I don't have a lot of notes. You know, and just so your viewers can know, we sit there and we write
up her Instagram.
All day long.
He used like. So you're saying like for 7 or 8 hours you just showed her social media and just cooked it with that?
All day long. And then he went to the
and they still got the video that they're gonna play on Monday.
And first the judge has shot down the video, but now as of when I stayed over Friday, he says he's gonna let him play it.
Us against the world.
They have to tweak a few things. But
yeah. He'll probably limit its exposure, but yeah, I mean that is relevant, man. Wow, okay.
And she also said that in the video were the people that felt like he really loved and appreciated. So the video is going to show probably inner circle.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Shit, man. All right. Anything else, bro? You want? I know I've held you here for a bit. Anything else you want to say?
Hulk stalled this up.
I have another show at 8, so I got to skedaddle. But I appreciate you having me on, brother. I look forward to you coming back. I'll get you in the courtroom.
No, I appreciate that, my friend. I appreciate that greatly. Chat, go check out Mel. Can you drop where they can find you, bro?
It's Watching the World 777 on YouTube and also on TikTok.
Hold on one sec. Let me just pull it up on screen real quick while I still got you here.
And just while you're doing that, just let them know we sit all day and we're writing notes, and then trying to come on and convey these notes to you. It's a challenge. It's not like preparing a lecture. So.
And something interesting that you do also is like you film like the line before and after, so they get to see a lot of the craziness of what's going on in front of the fucking courtroom before and after. So here's the YouTube channel right here, guys. You guys can see. Watch the World 777. Let's get in 7,000 subscribers, guys. Help him get his first 10. He's been critical in helping me get into the courtroom. A lot of the reason why I'm able to give you guys some detailed analysis is because he helped me get in there. And obviously he's giving you guys some detailed analysis while I'm not there. So Mel, thank you so much for coming, man. I know you gotta go.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, guys, go check him out, please.
Hey, thanks, man. I'll be in touch.
All right, bro. Peace.
Armed
Shout out to Mel, man. Shout out to Mel. Very, very detailed stuff there. So if you guys are interested in the Diddy case,
stronger.
Obviously giving you guys all kinds of sauce with that stuff. So shout out to him. The other thing we're gonna do, I know that there's been a potential terrorist attack in Colorado, so we're gonna go ahead and jump right to that, and then we'll cover the other stuff. Let's go ahead and go right into the breaking news.
My time to shine.
We start with the Fox News alert. The FBI is investigating.
Guys, do me a favor. Guys, do me a solid. Like the goddamn video. We got, what, 4,000 plus you guys in here? Like the video for me. Let's get to 2,000 plus likes, man, at least. Oh, actually, no, let me read some chats. Holy shit, I almost forgot. Okay, so we got here, Gabe's World says, I appreciate you standing up for the vets and calling out all the BS, especially how whites are being persecuted and no one bats an eye and calls you up and you call it out. I appreciate that, bro. Yeah, man. I got y'all ninjas, man. IA says, hey, man, there's an incident that the FBI is currently already calling a terrorist attack in Colorado. The guy's name is Mohammed Suleiman. It appears to be a Palestinian pro-Israel crowd are running wild about this. So, yeah, here we go, bro. Here we fucking go. So that's what I tell you guys, man. Violence is never the answer. Can you like the video where Destiny goes to blank and actually seems to get pushed back favoring the Palestinians?
My time to shine.
Oh, he goes to Israel. That was months ago, bro. That's old news, man. Let's see here. We got just do it. Sudani. My girlfriend left me for a dyke. How can I get over this, Myron? Speedy says, bro, who cares? Get over another girl. Myron, teaming the whole world to battle the idea of toxic Zionism like Team Cena versus the Nexus. God is on her side and they can kill us, but I guarantee if they kill some of us, the God will program to continue another let me make sure I didn't miss it.
Hulk is so annoying, man.
Think CD says there's a huge, really huge Ukraine drone attack on Russia right now, quite literally right now. This is getting crazy. This time they launched from Ukraine itself.
We are undefeatable.
That must have been from before. Zelensky, Zion, Don, and Putin have all openly taken direction from Shabbat Lushevers. Okay. Mike Schick says alleged Colorado a terror attack against pro-Israel protesters in Boulder, Colorado. False flag continue. Yep, absolutely wild stuff.
Just in the nick of time.
Just embrace the light.
Absolutely wild stuff.
Lights out. Terror attack in Boulder, Colorado. The alleged attack happened at a mall in between 13th and 14th Street. That's in downtown, along Pearl Street in downtown Boulder. We're hearing from the FBI Director, Patel, calling it a targeted terror attack. We're also hearing just moments ago from the governor of Colorado, G.
Garoku says, Myron, how do you get so much knowledge in geopolitics and all this stuff? As far as I know, you didn't study in this direction, or no, I didn't, but I just pay attention to news, bro. I pay attention. George Fennell says, W stream, appreciate that, George Fennell.
Jared Polis, who says he is closely monitoring the situation in Boulder. His thoughts go out to the people who have been injured, impacted by this heinous act of terror. Details are just coming in. Our local Denver Fox affiliate, KDVR, telling us that around 3 p.m., some sort of device exploded in what was an organized walk of a group that is pro-Israel that was walking in support of the hostages still held in Gaza. We're trying to learn more. We're trying to also effort some images there, but a difficult Sunday evening news to hear of what the FBI is calling a terror attack. Now, the local affiliate, KDVR in Denver, talking to some individuals that appear to be part of this group called Run for Their Lives. Again, supporting, having a walk on a Sunday afternoon to support the return of all of the hostages, Israeli hostages in Gaza. One of the organizers saying that they are devastated by this, and we're trying to find out exactly what happened and why this happened. Police have evacuated that area. If you are watching this, hearing this in the Boulder area, stay away from that downtown area.